What's up everyone, hope you're doing well. So I have been coming up with a bunch of buy guide videos for smartphones and laptops in the past couple of months, and as you've already guessed by the title of this video, today I'll be going through my top picks for the best budget wireless earbuds, all under 5,000 Indian rupees or below $100. I'll also be assigning points to each one of them across different aspects, with 10 points to grab in terms of sound quality and value for money, while everything else will be scored out of 5. Oh, and I won't be considering the fit and comfort of these earbuds in this ranking, since these are super subjective things. Here, none of the earbuds on my list have an absolutely horrific fit or anything, but yeah, your mileage may vary. Okay, so let's kick things off with the Redmi Buds 4. Compared to last year's Redmi Buds 3, Xiaomi has made quite a few changes this time. Instead of a tall stem-like design, these earbuds now have a sleek oval-shaped speaker unit which feels much more comfortable to put on. And it even has active noise cancellation now that works pretty well to cut out consistent low-frequency ambient noises. I was also not expecting to see transparency mode with the option to amplify others' voices on such budget wireless earbuds either. But while I have big praises for the Redmi Buds 4 design and noise cancellation properties, its audio quality itself is nothing groundbreaking for the price. Xiaomi has mostly tried to tune it with a balanced EQ, but there's a definite kick when it comes to bass and trebles. I'll admit that it does not sound too sharp or something, but muddy bass do tend to eat up details when listening to hip-hop, rock and similar tracks. Plus, despite its app support, there is no way to set a custom equalizer for these earbuds, which simply suck. So if you want more flexibility on how your earbuds sound, then you should check out the new OnePlus Buds 2. If you remember, the first gen Nord Buds had this horrifying bass response, but with the second generation Nord Buds, I am definitely noticing some improvements in terms of tuning. Likewise, I wouldn't exactly call its default balanced equalizer balanced in any way, but the Nord Buds 2 has somewhat bright sound signature with boosted upper mids and high frequencies that sound so much better. There's still some bass to enjoy, although it no longer comes off dark and bloaty to undermine the overall clarity of the music. Surprisingly enough, OnePlus has also managed to include ANC on these earbuds, but don't expect anything extraordinary in that regard.
Nevertheless, its microphone quality is quite good with decent background noise suppression, and its 12.4mm drivers are even more sensitive now.
Which means the Nord Buds 2 can get almost unbearably loud. Setting it at 70% volume was more than enough for my ears, even when taking these things for a spin in the busy Kathmandu streets. Next up is the Redmi Buds 3 Lite, which is also the most affordable entry on our list at just 1600 rupees. I know you're probably wondering, why are you including such inexpensive earbuds when our budget is more than 3 times as much? And I just have 2 words for you: audio quality. Of course, there are a lot of other brands like Boat and Noise competing in this sub 2000 bracket too, but for audio quality alone, the Redmi Buds 3 Lite is still one of the best options for its price. To be fair, if you want thumpy bass or strong trebles, these earbuds should not be at the top of your list. Instead, the Buds 3 Lite's audio is almost the exact opposite, with a sort of laid-back tuning that sounds great in almost all kinds of songs without overdoing anything. But I do wish its soundstage could have been better though, and it got a little louder as well. So if the Redmi Buds 3 Lite's shortcomings are a deal breaker and you can afford to spend 3/4 of the money, then the OnePlus Buds Z2 could be a good choice for you.
From better call quality to active noise cancellation to app support, this thing is a lot more feature-rich than Xiaomi's affordable offering.
And its V-shaped sound signature means these earbuds produce boomy bass and lifted trebles, while the mid-range takes a backseat in terms of clarity and definition. However, I found out that in classical, acoustic, or any other genre of songs with not much bass, its mids and treble response can come off a little grainy and even sibilant at high volumes. This was actually a big issue when the Buds Z2 first launched, since there was no way to change the EQ settings by default, but OnePlus has already pushed an update enabling a 6-band equalizer. Another late addition to these earbuds is the max noise cancellation setting, but I've got to say it's not that different from the regular noise cancellation option, which is already pretty good. However, before you go ahead and get one of these things, you should know that some of its features like Dolby Atmos playback and low latency mode are only available on select OnePlus phones. So if you're not a big fan of such walled ecosystem thing, then let me introduce you to Sony's WF C500, which does not discriminate with features whether you have an Android phone or an iPhone. These earbuds do go above our budget a little, but if you can look past it for excellent audio quality, then the C500 could definitely be worth it. Besides everything else, I'm especially impressed by how clean and faithful it sounds. The mid-range and vocals preserve good timbre, while its treble reproduction is just brilliant. I didn't find its bass hit as impactful as I'd like in the default settings, but switching to the excited EQ mostly did the trick. These earbuds also have a spacious soundstage, and the instrument separation here is pretty amazing. But even though this is one of the best sounding earbuds on our list and one with the best battery backup too, the WF C500 has a few rudimentary compromises like the lack of ANC.
And in fairly windy or noisy conditions, its microphones thoroughly struggle to pick up your voice in the middle of all the background noise.
Okay, moving on, Realme's Buds Air 3 is yet another excellent pair of earbuds under 5,000 rupees. And it sounds something like the OnePlus Buds Z2, but with a more balanced tonality without coming off as overpowering. Of course, Realme has still tuned these earbuds with a slightly punchier bass, but the Buds Air 3 sounds great across most musical genres. But unlike the Sony WF C500 and a couple of other upcoming earbuds on our list, I find its soundstage and definition in the treble region to be somewhat lacking. But when it comes to active noise cancellation, these earbuds are simply the best you can get in its price range, and it even competes with some of the more expensive ones. It's that good.
But I wish I could say the same about its audio quality though. It is good enough for quiet environments such as this, but for a more challenging turf, its audio pickup is just average.
And the one thing that has bugged me about these earbuds is the touch control. You eventually get used to it, but I just wish there was some sort of physical marking to naturally guide where your fingers should be resting. Alright, coming in at number 2 is the Jabra Elite 3. Just like the Sony WF C500, these earbuds are also all about the basics. By keeping things simple and focusing mostly on the audio quality side of things, Jabra has managed to deliver one heck of a budget earbud. And it sounds balanced, detailed, and all the other adjectives are typically used with great audio product. Its mid-tone texture is not as well defined as on the Sony C500, but I am overly nitpicking at this point. Likewise, although the Lite 3 has a small 6mm driver, its bass reproduction is impactful and warm. Another handy feature I love about these earbuds is that I can just double click on the left earbud and it automatically plays my Spotify playlist. Unfortunately, this feature is only available on Android devices.
Despite all this, the Elite 3's microphone quality is nothing to write home about, and it does not bring ANC either.
But the one silver lining here is that these earbuds do have a noise isolating design which sounds almost as good as active noise cancellation itself. Okay, finally, my pick for the best budget earbuds is the OPPO Enco Air 2 Pro. From a comfortable fit to a great sound quality, ANC and battery life, these earbuds impress in a lot of ways. And it has some of the cleanest bass response I've heard from a pair of budget wireless earbuds. The bass hit is tight, punchy, and it does not sound overbearing or extend to higher frequencies. Its wide soundstage, accurate stereo imaging, and treble definition are also impressive, which makes for an excellent listening experience in all types of songs, movies, and stuff. And the one thing that the Enco Air 2 Pro does particularly better than the Jabra Elite 3 is that it gets quite loud too. Its ANC is also super effective, although not as good as the Realme Buds Air 3.
The call quality here is just alright, and I'm not the biggest fan of such tall design either, but the main disappointing thing about these earbuds is that you can't set a custom EQ here.
OPPO could eventually push an update for a custom equalizer, but until then you're stuck with 3 default presets. So there you have it, guys. That was all for my top picks for the best budget wireless earbuds in 2023. And by the way, this video was not sponsored by any brands, and I personally bought these units all by myself. Saying this, I'm Pratima. Do subscribe to Gadget Bite, and I'll catch up with you in my next video.